Hello, this is Run the Numbers. My name is Jason, and the video you're watching here on the Run the Numbers channel features yours truly as I walk the what looks to be sunny, just getting to have the sun peek through the clouds, some sunny streets of Los Angeles, California. Yep, I'm on the go walking and talking about an item, a topic related to personal finance. So enjoy watching and learning a little bit about personal finance as we do this video part of the warm-up series. Also, this video is part of the 100 video challenge. That's where I have made it an effort to create and publish to YouTube 100 videos, and I want to do all of that in 100 days. So yes, publish roughly one video a day for 100 days. That's so that I get a whole lot of content up there, out there, onto the internet, onto YouTube, so that you, my wonderful audience, can benefit and enjoy, and hopefully you're helped along on your personal finance journey. Okay, with that said, with that introduction covered, let's jump right into today's topic, which discusses assets versus liabilities. And my effort here is to first share with you a definition, a way to think between the two, kind of the one I like the most. I'm going to share that. Then we're going to get into why I like that way of thinking, that, I guess you say, definition, why I like that definition the best. And lastly, I'll kind of say, it's not perfect, so I'll kind of say a little bit of maybe what's wrong with that definition, and leave you to, making up your own mind as to how you like to think through assets and liabilities. Okay, so that's the agenda, that's the game plan here. So let's jump right into assets versus liabilities, and really what they are, and the definition I like best. And this definition I like best is straight pulled from, you could say, stolen. Maybe you could say a more kinder way to say is inspired by the Rich Dad Poor Dad way of thinking through assets, liabilities, and that is what's said there is an asset is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Okay, that's the definition. The idea is to keep things super, super simple. There's all kind. Go read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Understand. Phenomenal book. Go understand kind of what are the deeper meanings as to where that definition comes. Sure. But I'll point to why I like it the most. And again, this was covered in the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. And that is that I like it the most because it has a focus on cash flow. It has a focus on the fact that assets have a positive cash flow, bringing money in, right? Something that brings money into your pocket. And the liabilities have a negative cash flow. It has something, a liability, it is something that takes money out of your pocket. Okay, so by that definition, and that way of thinking about it, it's a good way to kind of look at. So if you have different, say, investment instruments, you could say investment assets. I've talked at length about how your cash itself can grow in something like a high yield savings account. I talk a lot about high yield savings account, big fan. That's a great example. I talk a lot about how I'm putting a lot of money recently to treasury bills. I'm just trying to give you some examples here of assets, classic, easy way to think. So that money is growing, is pulling more money in, and thereby, yes, bringing more money into my pockets. So that's easy ways to think through that. And again, by this definition, let's think of some quick and easy examples to liabilities. So say my auto loan. I have an auto loan that I need to pay a monthly amount, and it's, yes, taking money out of my pocket. So that right there represents an easy way to think through a liability. Okay, now let's jump now into the third of the three things. I covered this definition, I covered why I like it. It's an easy way to think through cash flow, which I think is supremely important. Now the third thing to mention on our agenda here is that it's not perfect. It can get a little murky, a little bit muddy of the fact that, and in fact, this was even something in the book of something of controversy, where, if you remember in the book, he argues with his father about the home they live in an asset versus a liability. So yeah, you could think of a home that's going to take money out of your pocket because you're paying the monthly mortgage, you have all kinds of maintenance expenses, you have property taxes, you have all kinds of things. So, and very much so, it's thought of as a liability. But a lot of people would take issue with that. The thought there is that a home is an asset for the reason that you could sell your home. All things normal in a housing market, you sell your home and you take that money, and then yes, it's putting money into your pocket. So in that sense, it's an asset. It's bringing money in. You could have that same thought for a car. Yes, you could take the car and it has value, and it can thereby, you sell it and it brings money into your pocket. So you could think asset there by maybe more of the classical definition, but in the kind of rich dad, poor dad, this kind of an asset brings money into your pocket, a liability brings money, takes money out of your pocket. So then a car, yep, you're constantly needing to pay maybe for gasoline, for maintenance, for the registration costs, all the various things that go into, of course, insurance, all the different things that go into the cost of an auto ownership, that would lead you to point by, again, this definition that your car is a liability. So it gets a little murky, and you can, have some serious debate about this. I'm not going to weigh too much into this, but it's not a perfect definition, because it can get a little rough around the edges. There is a lot of disclaimer in Rich Dad Poor Dad that they're like, the smarter you are, the harder you're going to have with this kind of simple definition of just to focus on cash flows, money that brings something that brings money in, asset, something that brings your money out, a liability. Yeah, that gets a little bit more murky. Just simply, kind of the more educated you might be, actually you could have more trouble with it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn around here. So so I'm gonna leave you with, it's not perfect. Also, there's this element of at one point something could be an asset. So we talked about or a liability, and it could go vice versa. So something could be a bit more fluid, so it's harder that you have something that could kind of shift from one side of the balance sheet to the other. A lot of times that is kind of a big no-no. You want something to just like stay on one side or the other. So that kind of rubs people the wrong way. And what I mean by that is, say you have a property, so say it's your home, and then you choose to move out of your home, and what you do with the home then at that point is maybe you rent it out, and now it's a rental property. So at that point, it's shifted over, and you're bringing money in from all the rental income. So by the classic definition, at one point it was a liability. You're needed to pay great sums of money and you're not taking any money in. And then once you make it a rental property, it becomes an asset, again, by this definition, money coming into your pocket. Now you still have some things you have to pay. You still have to pay the mortgage. You do all that even with rental income. So it's not that no money goes out of your pocket for an asset, but overall the idea is that more money is coming in, and it could hopefully be a positive asset. I guess in the sense that you could have, you could be looking at something like rental property and not be doing well, and then it's a negative asset, which is a little bit funky to think through, this whole idea, because you're putting these very rigid definitions and just looking at cash flow. So at that point, do you turn a negative asset, even though it has potential, and you move it over into a liability? Maybe that's the case. So you got to kind of think through things as it fits for how you go about it. This is in no way an accounting class. This is just kind of like pointing to the definitions that I think can help people think through the cash flow and think through kind of what it is you're holding. And that's the whole idea of this video. I want you to think through the different assets and liabilities that you own, give them kind of a close examination, and just rethink through this, put some critical thinking to it. And yeah, that's my plea for you today. Demonstrate some critical thinking of your own, as you might like this definition or you might not like the definition. It's up to you. You're gonna make up your mind on that. All right, I'm gonna leave you there. If you've liked this topic of kind of going down more to the bare metal, the classics of some elements of personal finance, let me know that. Let me know that you don't like it if that's the case, and you want me to avoid it. If you want me to just, hey, stick to just recommending some great credit cards, stick to other things, let me know that. So leave a comment to this video, or otherwise reach me. If you do like the video, a good, easy way to show me you like the video is, yes, hit the like button. And of course, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, share it with some friends. That helps me out as well. I'll leave you there. Gotta run.